Buying a home isn't just about finding a place that looks good on Instagram or feels right when you walk through the door. It's a huge financial decision, and there are mistakes that can cost you more than just money. They can cost you peace of mind, they can cost you the home that you wanted, and they can even cost you your confidence in the process. And the frustrating part is that most of these mistakes are completely avoidable if you know about them ahead of time. That's why in this video, we're going to break down the 5 biggest mistakes that buyers make and exactly how you can avoid them. Now, I know Charleston is a place where people want the dream lifestyle. You might be thinking about being close to downtown so that you can enjoy all of the dining and music, or maybe you want to be closer to the water so that you can have that salt air breeze every evening. Maybe you're imagining backyard oyster roast, or you've got visions of your kids biking under those big oak trees covered in Spanish moss. Whatever the picture of your dream looks like, you deserve to get there without tripping over mistakes that so many buyers don't see coming. So let's make sure that that's what happens. The first mistake is starting a search without getting pre-approved. Now, I get it. It feels natural to hop online, scroll through listings, and start dreaming. You see a porch that looks perfect for sweet tea in the afternoons, or a kitchen that feels ready for Sunday brunch with your friends. But here's the problem. If you're looking at homes without knowing what you can actually afford, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. Imagine falling in love with a house that has everything that you want. It has big windows, a yard for the dog, it's close to the beach. Then you find out that you can't qualify for it financially. That hurts. Or on the flip side, imagine thinking that you can only afford something smaller, only to discover later that you actually had more buying power all along. Both situations waste your time, and in a competitive market like Charleston, time is everything. Getting pre-approved is about more than just a piece of paper. It's about knowing your numbers, setting expectations, and giving you confidence. Sellers here often expect buyers to be ready to move quickly. If you're not pre-approved, you can miss out while someone else who already has their letter in their hand swoops in. And here's a bonus that most people don't realize. Sometimes when you go through the pre-approval, you catch things in your credit or finances that you wouldn't have noticed otherwise. That gives you a chance to fix them before you're under pressure. The pre-approval isn't just a green light, it's your seatbelt, making sure that you're secure before the ride even begins. You'd be surprised how many buyers think, oh, I'll just look around first and then I'll talk to a lender later. But hear me out. Imagine this. You're at a showing, you love the house, and suddenly you feel this urgency, like this is it. This is the one. You want to make an offer right away, but then the listing agent asks, do you have a pre-approval letter? And you don't. At that moment, you've already lost leverage. Someone else is going to walk in with the same excitement, but they've already got their paperwork ready. Guess who the seller's going to take seriously? Not the buyer with dreams and a smile, the buyer with proof in their hand. And here's another layer. Pre-approval isn't just about proving that you can afford a certain number. It's about finding how comfortable that number feels for you. Just because the lender says you can qualify for a $600,000 home doesn't mean that you should buy at $600,000. Maybe when you see what the monthly payment looks like, you'd realize that you'd be happier spending less, so you still have money for travel, dining out, or saving for the future. In Charleston, where so much of the lifestyle is about enjoying the city, the water, and the food scene, being house poor can take away the very things that made you want to live here in the first place. Pre-approval helps you define your comfort zone so that you can shop with confidence. If this is your first time to the channel, hi, my name is Deneen. I'm a realtor here in Charleston, South Carolina, and the surrounding Lowcountry. As the Southern Living Yankee, I love helping people just like you buy and sell homes in the Charleston area. I specialize in helping people relocate to Charleston from out of state because I've been there and I've done it myself. I understand how exciting but still overwhelming a big move can be, but that's why I'm here, to help you every step of the way. If you're ready to make a move, reach out today. You can shoot me a text, send me an email, or even just pick up the phone and call. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and tap that notification bell too. Okay, let's move on. Mistake number 2 is focusing only on the house and not the surroundings. Let's be honest, it's easy to get swept up in how a house looks. You walk in and the hardwood floors shine, the kitchen sparkles, Maybe the bathroom has that spa-like feel. You can already picture your furniture in the living room and your favorite art on the walls. But here's the thing, you don't just buy the house. You buy the location, the commute, the neighbors, the lifestyle that comes with it. Imagine you find a charming cottage that looks like it came straight off of a Charleston postcard. It has a white picket fence, flowering shrubs, and maybe even a swing on the front porch. You love it. But once you move in, you realize that every morning you're stuck in a 45-minute drive to work. Or maybe you realize that the street is busier than you thought, and suddenly, sitting on that porch swing isn't so relaxing. Or maybe you discover that what seemed like a quiet area at noon is actually filled with late night noise from nearby businesses. The house might be perfect, but if the surroundings don't fit your lifestyle, that perfection quickly fades. The question isn't just whether the house fits you, it's whether your daily life in that location fits you. Because at the end of the day, you can change paint colors, remodel a kitchen, or even build a deck. But you can't move the house closer to your job. You can't make the street quieter, and you can't suddenly make the beach 5 minutes away if it's 20. That's why focusing only on the house itself without paying attention to the bigger picture is such a big mistake. I can't stress this enough because I've seen it so many times. Buyers get dazzled by the inside of a home. Maybe it's been staged beautifully. Maybe the light hits just right. Maybe it feels like it should be in a magazine. But the moment that you step outside, you're faced with the reality of what life there really means. And that's the part you can't ignore. Here's an example. A couple falls in love with a house that's got a gorgeous open kitchen. They're imagining cooking Lowcountry boils for friends, filling the space with laughter, and making it the heart of their home. They buy it, but once they move in, they realize that the closest grocery store is 25 minutes away. Traffic is a daily nightmare, and the drive home after work drains them before they ever get to enjoy that kitchen. The house was perfect, but the lifestyle around it wasn't. When you find a home you like, don't just walk through the house. Walk through the neighborhood. Drive the commute at rush hour. Visit at different times of the day. Listen to the sounds, smell the air. Is it calm? Is it lively? Do you feel safe or do you feel inspired? Because those little things are the ones that shape your life long after the excitement of move-in day fades. Mistake number 3 is skipping the home inspection. This one happens more often than you think, especially when buyers are trying to save money or move quickly. Here's the thought process. The house looks great, it feels solid. Why spend a few $100s on an inspection when we've already stretched our budget? But that short-term saving can turn into long-term regret. Charleston homes are especially full of character. You've got historic homes that have been standing for over 100 years. You have beach cottages that have weathered salt air and storms. Then you have new construction that sometimes gets rushed to meet the demand. Each type of home has its own set of possible issues. With older homes, you could be looking at wiring that isn't up to code, foundations that have shifted over time, or plumbing that has been patched together over decades. With beachside homes, moisture is always something to keep an eye on, whether it's mold, rust, or wood rot. And even with brand new homes, inspections can sometimes uncover shortcuts, things that were fine at first, but could cause problems later. Skipping the inspection is like closing your eyes and hoping for the best. And buying a home is too big of an investment for that kind of gamble. So when buyers skip the inspection, what they're really skipping is the chance to buy with confidence. This one honestly scares me the most because the damage isn't always immediate. Sometimes it sneaks up on you. A buyer skips the inspection to save a few $100s. They move in and everything seems fine at first. But 6 months later, the roof leaks during a summer storm, or the electrical system trips every time they plug in the toaster and the microwave at the same time. Or termites, which are no strangers in Charleston, have quietly been making themselves at home. Suddenly that saved money has turned into thousands in repairs, not to mention the stress and disruption. An inspection isn't just about avoiding problems, it's about understanding what you're really buying. Even if the report shows issues, that doesn't mean that you have to walk away. Sometimes it means that you negotiate repairs or you can budget for future maintenance. It gives you clarity, and clarity is power. Without it, you're buying blind. And buying blind in a city where homes can range from century-old historic properties to brand new builds on the water is pretty risky. Mistake number 4 is draining your savings on the down payment. I know, it feels like the responsible thing to do. You put down as much money as possible in order to keep your monthly payments low and avoid mortgage insurance if you can. But here's the problem. If you put every dollar you have into the down payment, what's left for the unexpected? Because something is always going to come up. Maybe it's a repair that you didn't anticipate, like the water heater going out or the AC needing a tune-up during a Charleston summer. Maybe it's furniture, appliances, or small fixes that make the house livable the way that you want it. It's not that putting money down is bad. In fact, the more you put down, the less that you'll pay over time. But balance is key. You want to keep enough in reserves to handle the things that pop up, because they will pop up. Home ownership is full of surprises. Sometimes they're good, like finding hardwood under old carpet, but sometimes they're costly. And if you're stretched too thin, those surprises can turn into stress very quickly. Imagine this scenario. You've been saving for years and finally you have scraped together enough for that down payment. So you want to put down as much as possible because you've heard that it's the smart thing to do. You close, you're proud, you've got the keys. But then reality hits. You realize that the house needs new window coverings, and those really aren't cheap. The fridge that came with the house is on its last leg. You need a new lawnmower, you need tools, you need furniture that actually fits the space. And before you know it, your credit card is carrying the weight that you thought you left behind when you became a homeowner. Now imagine another curveball. Charleston weather is beautiful, but it's also unpredictable. A storm comes through, a tree branch falls, and suddenly you're looking at an insurance deductible that you didn't plan for. If all your money went into the down payment, that deductible feels like a mountain. That's why keeping some cash on hand isn't just smart, it's necessary. Buying a home isn't about spending every penny to get through the door. It's about being able to live there comfortably once you're inside. Mistake number 5 is letting emotions take over. Now, this is the sneakiest one because buying a house is emotional by nature. You walk in and it feels like the one. You can see yourself cooking in that kitchen, entertaining on that patio, or walking down that charming street. And that's good. You should feel excited. But when emotions run the show, logic takes a back seat. That's when buyers start ignoring red flags, stretching beyond their budget, or rushing into decisions without thinking them through. Picture that. You find a house near the water and it feels perfect. You're picturing sunset walks, paddleboard rides, and evenings by the dock. Then you notice the little things. Maybe the inspection revealed moisture issues, or maybe it needs more repairs than what you had expected. Instead of listening to those red flags, emotions say, we'll figure it out, it's worth it. Or maybe you're in a bidding war. You set your budget, but when that competition heats up, you throw it out the window because you can't bear to lose this house. A few thousand extra turns into tens of thousands, and suddenly the home that felt perfect now feels like a financial strain. That's what happens when emotions take over. The home should make you feel good, but the decision needs to be grounded, because once you've signed those papers, the feelings that mattered most are the ones tied to financial security and peace of mind. This is the one that can sneak up on even the most logical buyer. Charleston homes are emotional by nature. They're charming, they're unique, they carry stories in their walls. It's easy to walk in and fall in love. But here's the thing, love can make you overlook cracks, literally and figuratively. You might ignore the fact that the roof is near the end of its life because you're imagining sunset dinners on the porch. You might stretch beyond your budget because you can see yourself walking down that historic street every day. And don't get me wrong, you should love your home. You should feel excited when you walk through the door. But you can't let that excitement override the facts, because once the honeymoon period fades, what's left are the reality of monthly payments, maintenance, and day-to-day life. That's why having a trusted guide, someone who can remind you to balance your heart with your head, is so important. They're not there to take away the joy. They're there to protect you from regret. Now, here's the thing about these 5 mistakes. On their own, each one might seem small. Not getting pre-approved, that feels like a minor delay. Ignoring the surroundings, well, that feels like something that you can just adjust to later. Skipping the inspection, that feels like just saving a little bit of money. Putting all your savings down, well, that feels like being responsible. And letting emotions take over, that feels like following your heart. But when you put all of those together, they add up to stress, regret, and sometimes even financial hardship. On the other hand, avoiding them gives you confidence. It makes you feel in control in a process that can sometimes feel overwhelming. It lets you enjoy the search instead of stressing through it. And most importantly, it puts you in a position not just to buy a house, but to buy the right house for you. Think about it like this. Buying a home in Charleston isn't just a transaction. It's about planting your roots in a city that's filled with life, charm, and history. It's about Saturday mornings at the farmer's market, afternoons walking by the water, evenings out with friends, or quiet nights on your porch under the stars. It's about creating a lifestyle that fits who you are and what you value. And when you avoid the mistakes that we've been talking about, you actually get to focus on those things, the reasons that you wanted a home here in the first place. Here's the thing. Knowledge isn't just power, it's freedom. It's the freedom to enjoy the process, the freedom to make choices without second guessing, and the freedom to walk into your new home with excitement instead of regret. That's what I want for all my clients. Not just a house, but the right house. Bought with confidence, bought with clarity, and bought without falling into the traps that catch so many people off guard. So remember, get approved, pay attention to more than just the walls and roof, don't skip the inspection, don't drain your savings, and don't let your emotions run the show. Do those 5 things and you'll already be ahead of the game. If you do those, Charleston isn't just where you'll buy a house, it's where you'll build your home. Now, if you're moving in from out of state, the next video that I want you to watch is my video about how to buy a house in Charleston when you live out of state. The link is in the description below. My name is Deneen. I'm a realtor here in Charleston, South Carolina and the surrounding Lowcountry. As the Southern Living Yankee, I love helping people just like you buy and sell homes in the Charleston area. I specialize in helping people relocate to Charleston from out of state because I've been there and I've done it myself. I understand how exciting but still overwhelming a big move can be, but that's why I'm here, to help you every step of the way. If you're ready to make a move, reach out today. You can shoot me a text, send me an email, or even just pick up the phone and call. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and tap that notification bell. Thank you so much for joining me. So long for today.